And these are all addictions, so like food addictions and porn addictions
Absolutely.
and gaming addictions and social media addictions.
So each addiction has a slightly different manifestation, but the core aspect of providing pleasure and taking away pain is true of all addictions.
What is the most popular addiction in your mind that the vast majority of society are currently prey to, but don't really realize? I mean, reading through your book, I think phone addiction, which you talk about in chapter 7, is maybe the thing that none of us see as an addiction, but we're probably addicted. If I look at my screen time, I think, Jesus Christ.
So I think phone addiction is really bad. I mean, in a weird way, I'd say this doesn't really qualify as an addiction, but the biggest problem, I think, is our addiction to success, right? So if we sort of think about it, like, I don't know if that's kind of the context of it's just where my mind goes, but if we sort of think about it, everyone is using success as an antidote to their pain and a source of their pleasure. And so here we are chasing all of these things for success, for success, for success. But in terms of like technology or like from a psychiatric perspective, I think phone is probably at the top of the list.
I think I've been quite confused about something in my life, but just generally, because when I think about those young men that are struggling or young women that are struggling, I often think what their life is lacking is a sense of purpose and ambition and something to strive for. This is kind of what we say. But now I'm kind of confused based on what you said, because is that what they're missing? Like you see a kid, he's 22 years old, he's in his mum's basement, he, low self-esteem, playing video games all day, doesn't respect himself, low self-worth. In my head, I used to think, okay, well, what that kid needs is a big goal to strive for.
Fair enough. So, but let's pay attention to your specific language. So you said what that kid needs is purpose, ambition, and something to strive for. Are those three things the same?
No.
Right? So this is the big core of the problem. This is why things get muddled, and this is why people get confused, because ambition is very different from purpose. They're like at opposite ends of the spectrum. If we look at it from a scientific perspective, the number one thing that correlates, or one of the two most popular, or two variables that correlate the most with pornography addiction, is meaninglessness in life. So if you want to conquer your pornography addiction, you have to have a reason to not jerk off and watch porn all day. So you have to have a life that like makes it so that you just don't do that. Because what happens is if you have an empty life and your brain is kind of sitting there and it's like, okay, we're not doing anything anyway, so let me get some dopamine. Like, let's just do that. And that's how people become addicted to pornography.
Is there a correlation there between when people masturbate and what they're going through in their life?
Absolutely. So it's not even masturbation with pornography addiction, but what we find is that the more their amygdala and limbic system gets activated, the more pornography they will use. So the more negative emotion you experience, the more pornography you will watch.
Why? Because I want dopamine.